This is the Blood Red podcast from the Liverpool Echo.
Well, as we mentioned, we want to talk a little bit about your take on your teammates, the team that has become champions for the first time in 30 years at Liverpool Football Club. Start with the goalkeeper, Alison Becker, your take on him?
Where do I start? I mean, Ali's, for me, the best keeper in the world. I know it's easy for me to say that because I play with him, but the moments and the saves that he's made, his distribution, everything about him really is world class, as he is as a person off the field. So laid back, so chilled, brilliant person to have around in the dressing room, and couldn't speak highly enough of him really. Top class keeper, and made a real difference since he's come to the club.
The Scouser in the team, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I can't say too many nice things about him because I always got to try and keep your feet on the ground. Trent's a great lad, had an unbelievable season again. When you're a young player coming through, it's harder to perform. You normally have a debut season, obviously, is new and you can perform, and it's different. I think you have an added pressure the season after. People expect more of you, but I think he's dealt with it so well. As a player, he's had a fantastic season. The assists that he's created, but also his defensive side, which I know he's been working on over the past year or so, I think has improved massively. He's becoming a real leader. I can see he's growing and maturing all the time. And for me, he's been one of the standout performers in the Premier League this season.
And his assist rival, if you like, Andy Robertson on the other side.
Again, Robbo has had another unbelievable season. Great lad, having the dressing room, he gets all the lads going, and he's the one that has the banter and always taking the mick out of people. So he's real good character to have around. But on the football pitch, everybody loves him. I think he's just getting better every single season. The energy, the work rate, and the quality. The quality that he possesses in the final third. And them two that we've just spoke about, Trent and Rob, were a massive part of this team and how we play. Rob has had another fantastic campaign.
What can you say about Virgil van Dijk that hasn't already been said?
I'm gonna say good things about the whole team, aren't I? Virgil is a huge player for us, as everybody knows. He's made such a big difference since he's come to the football club, as a footballer, as a person, leader, everything. I haven't really got enough words to describe him, but what you see on a football pitch is, for me, the best centre half in the world. That makes a big difference to the team, gives the team confidence, and again, he just carries on to get better and better, and has grown over the past couple of years as well since coming to the club, into a real leader, and another huge player for this football club.
And the player who he calls his little brother, Joe Gomez, next to him, how have you found this season?
I think Joe's been brilliant this season as well. I remember when he first come, he had a bad injury, and I've seen how hard he worked in the gym every single day for a long time. And I just knew one day that that hard work would pay off, and you can see that is starting to pay off now. Really, you can see how good he is as a player, his physique, how good he is on the ball, how calm he is, aggressive, good at heading, can do everything really. And I think being next to Virgil has helped him. But I'm sure Virgil will see that having Joe next to him as well has been really good as well. He's been another brilliant season from Joe, continuing to grow all the time, and he can still improve and get better, but he's had another fantastic season.
And moving into midfield, Fabinho, what can you say about him in this season?
Fab has been, it's going to get silly now, and it's been incredible. Again, probably one of the best defensive midfielders in the world at what he does. He's so good at breaking the play up, reading the game, but also as you've seen some of the final third passes that he's played and created openings for the team has been important. But another great player, another big addition. He's been brilliant since he come to the club and made a big difference. So he's been fantastic again, and still a lot more to come.
Seems to be a theme emerging here. Everyone's had a fantastic season. I imagine you'd say the same for Georginio Wijnaldum.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Genie. You know, I feel as though he's underrated a little bit. Maybe not from Liverpool fans, but from the outside, I feel as though as a footballer he can do everything. You know, he can defend so good, attack so good. He's brilliant in the final third, can score goals. Will keep the ball, very rarely loses the ball. So for me, he's been a real standout performer again for this team. Very consistent player. And yeah, I'm a really big fan of Genie. I think he's a fantastic player.
And how about Naby Keita?
Yeah, I think Naby's grown again this year. You know, I think it takes a little bit of time sometimes coming to this football club, especially when you're younger. But I think he's grown again this season. I think, especially since we've come back from lockdown, I think his performance level has been really good. Even before that, you know, he was in great runs of form, and then he would pick up a little injury that would just knock him back a little bit, but he's bounced back and recovered really well, and you can see the talent he has. He can be a fantastic player for this football club, but he's been a really important player in certain games this season, and I think people are starting to see the real Naby and what he can do.
A couple of good mates of yours next there. First, Adam Lallana. It looks like he's going to leave the club. How do you sum up his time at this club?
I think Ads needs a lot of credit, you know, from when he first come to this football club. He's been a massive part in the direction and the change of philosophy or direction of the club, really, in terms of becoming successful. When he first came, obviously it was a little bit difficult, and then Brendan left and Jurgen come in, so it was a little bit of a transition for him. But I think since Jurgen come in, he was, if not the best player. When the gaffer first came, he moved slightly more into the middle and was outstanding. You know, had an unbelievable season, not only for Liverpool but for England as well. And anybody who tells you who's played against him or played with him will tell you how good a footballer he is, to be fair. And I'm not just saying that because he's one of my good mates. I think, like I say, anybody who knows and watched Adam Lallana can see how good he is as a footballer. Unfortunately, he had a period where he had a bad injury, which took him a bit of time to recover from and get back from, and that was a tough time for him. You know, I could see how much that hurt him, playing so well, being so consistent, to then having a bad injury and not being involved for a long period of time is so difficult as a footballer. I've experienced it, and it's not nice. And that was really tough to see him down, you know, and out for so long. But he's been back fit for a long period of time now, and unfortunately, of course, he's gonna move on this summer. But whatever team gets him are in for a big treat, because he's a massive player and a great lad, a great leader within the team, in the dressing room. Even though you might not have seen him much on the pitch, the last season or so, he still has a big influence in the dressing room. So the lads will definitely miss him.
Imagine someone else who has big influence on the dressing room is your second in command, James Milner.
Yeah, Millie is a fantastic player, fantastic leader, and he's a real big character within the dressing room. You know, he's the one that sets the standards every single day, making sure everybody's on it. But always, when he plays, he's always performing at a very high level, and he's done that throughout his career at a consistent level for many years, and that's so difficult, you know. In the Premier League, he's definitely the best professional I've ever seen. He's day to day, everything, he's detail that he goes into to make sure he's ready, and there's no coincidence that he's still performing at a very high level at the age he's at. So he's another big influence on this football club and this football team over the last few years.
Moving into the attack now, obviously the famous front three. We'll start with Mo. Another fantastic season for him.
Yeah, another amazing season. I mean, I know people may criticise at times this season, but Mo's had another outstanding season. You know, I think because he set the bar so high, people will expect that every single year, but if you look at his performances, even look at his goals, it's incredible really what he's achieved so far, and another huge player for us. He's made a huge difference since he come to the club, and another great guy, you know, off the field, another great person to have around, and yeah, again, can't speak highly enough of him.
Bobby through the middle.
Yeah, I love Bobby. You know, he's one of my favourite players. I think he's incredible. Every day in training, everything about him, I love really. He's such a big player, an important player for this team, and a lot of what he does goes unnoticed. You know, and yeah, he's again for me had another brilliant season, and another world-class player that has had a huge impact again since coming from Germany.
And on the left side, there's obviously Sadio Mane. He's been fantastic for a good while now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been so consistent for a long period of time. Incredible player. I wouldn't like to mark him on a weekend, to be honest. So unpredictable, can go either way, both feet. So strong, powerful. But that's not that just doesn't happen, you know. I see every day how he's in the gym, every single morning, every day before training he's doing gym work, strength work to be better and to improve, along with all the other players as well. But yeah, I just see that in Sadio, the will to improve and want to become better and want more, is really important for this team, and he's been incredible this season. You know, another standout performer in the Premier League, and yeah, he deserves everything he gets.
And what about Divock Origi's role in this squad?
Divock is another huge player for us, you know. Big moments within the season. Over the past year or two, he's had big moments for this team. Great to have around, works hard every day in training and gives us something different when he comes on, and is always ready to perform. And yeah, I think he's had another brilliant season. Still very young, still a lot to improve on, but so is everybody else. You know, I think that's the good thing about this team, is we always want to get better. We always want to improve, whether you're 21 or whether you're 31. You know, I think that's the most important thing, is always wanting to be better, and I can see that in Div, for sure. And I think he's had another brilliant season.
Yeah. Someone else who's been here for quite a long time now is Dejan Lovren. How do you sum up him in the squad?
Dejan's a great lad, you know, a great character again to have around. Again, might not have played as much as what he would have liked this season, but still has a presence in the dressing room, and everybody loves him. Yeah, missed quite a bit through injury and things like that, but he's a top centre half. You know, he can aggressive, good on the ball, and yeah, he's played his part for sure. In the last few years, he's been brilliant since the gaffer come in, and like I say, he might not have played as much as what he would have liked this year, but he still had a big impact off the pitch.
Someone who seems the quiet type in the group is Joel Matip. What can you say about him? Shed any light on him a little bit more?
Yeah, Joel is very quiet, but a great lad. You know, he's gets on with his job quietly, efficiently, and I think he's had a big season again. I think he's been brilliant. So strong and powerful and big. It's hard to get round him or past him, or you can't win a header or anything. So I wouldn't like to play against him. But he's had another good season. Unfortunately, ended early due to injury. But yeah, another really important player for us, because he's been fantastic, and again in the gym always wants to improve. And yeah, always positive. I always feel Joel will never be down for too long about anything. He'll always bounce back really well, good mentality, and I can see that with his injury now. He's very focused on getting back as quick and strong as possible, and working hard every day in the gym now, with me while I'm doing my rehab. So yeah, another really important player for us. So yeah, I've said a lot of nice things about a lot of people there, haven't I? But to be honest, that's obviously that's genuine. You know, that's exactly how they are, and I don't have to speak too much about all of them in terms of footballers, because you see them and how good they are every week, but as people they're even better, you know, and that's the most important thing. And that again isn't coincidence. That's down to the manager and the recruitment staff on who he brings in. Not only are they good footballers, but are they good people, and do they want to improve, do they want to work hard, and that's why this team's so together and has been so consistent for the last couple of years now.
Yeah, I think there's one who I've missed off, so I'll just ask him quickly, is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Obviously a big pal of yours. What imagine him to be quite boisterous in the group and, you know, gets everyone going pre-match.
No, everyone loves Ox.
Yeah.
Everybody loves him. He's a really likeable character, as you'll probably know. But he's got huge talent as well, huge ability. He can do everything as a midfielder. You know, he's dynamic, he can shoot, he's fast, he's strong, he's powerful, and gives us something a little bit different. So I think he's improved again this season. I think there's been parts of the season where he's shown his quality and he's been fantastic, but still I think there's still more to come from him in the next couple of years. I think you'll see him get even better and improve even more. So I'm excited to see him keep going, keep improving. And he's an exciting player, but I've always been a big fan of Ox. You know, I've known him a long time. I've played with him for a long time, and I know what he can do. But it's about doing that week in, week out, and that's hopefully will be very soon.